So I can't wait to talk to JB Birch. JB Birch has been my mentor now for a few years. Just kind of personal information. I had a mentor when I graduated law school, John Carroll. He didn't know it, but I kind of had chosen him as my mentor, and I would reach out to him and talk to him. When I graduated law school and passed the bar exam, I didn't take on another job. I worked, did some document review for electronic discovery, and then I just hung my own practice, hung my own shingle, started practicing criminal defense and domestic relation law over time. And my first mentor unexpectedly passed away about 12 years ago, John Carroll. And about that time, I knew that I needed some mentorship, and JB actually became one of the people that I leaned on. He'd been practicing for years. He lived, or not lived, but his office was located right next door to the Iron Fronts building, which is a place where I rented an office from another lawyer that I was friends with. I was known to him. He had been a law professor of mine. He taught me negotiations. I will tell you, I still use his negotiation information even when I do sentencings. Every time I deal with other people or I'm trying to get something from my client, I rely on the concept of negotiations that JB gave me. And so I think of reasonably unreasonable, unreasonably unreasonable, and you cannot cross that line. And so one thing I'll share with you viewers, if you think of the other person's perspective on what they think is reasonably unreasonable or unreasonably unreasonable, that is the line that cannot be crossed. If you cross the unreasonable line, they will no longer deal with you. That's just a general human rule, and it's a negotiation rule. So if you're negotiating, if you want anything on behalf of yourself or somebody else, if you think of it in terms of do not cross the unreasonably unreasonable line. You can be reasonably unreasonable all day long. I learned that from JB. JB is the lawyer that other lawyers hire when they're in trouble with the bar. He's also the lawyer that people that are aspiring to be a lawyer but can't pass character and fitness, they hire JB to figure out how you convince the Virginia State Bar that they're actually eligible to be lawyers and that the thing that they did in their past that the State Bar is concerned about is not a reason to not be a lawyer. That's a really difficult thing to get people that are just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to go through law school, and whatever they did in their past is a reason for the Virginia State Bar, whoever the administration is to determine who's allowed to be a lawyer, they determine that what you did in the past makes it so that you're not allowed to be a lawyer. That's something that JB does. There's not a whole lot of people that do that. I was planning on starting this law-based podcast about 3 years ago. And so it's really exciting now that this was episode 1. Episode 1 of what I wanted to be for a 10-part series. I guess we'll see whether or not the other 9 get made. But JB is number 1. You know, what does it take to be a lawyer? What does it mean to be a lawyer? What's the identity of being a lawyer? I hope we're going to get some valuable insight today from JB. And I'm hoping he can talk to everyone about his new book that's coming out, Raising the Bar. The guidebook on lawyer mentorship, I believe, is the full name. But Raising the Bar is the first part of the title by Jack Burtch, Burtch. So everyone, I hope you enjoy the podcast. This is important because it's the first one. I will tell you this marks the 21st anniversary of me deciding to go to law school. I was doing Oracle and Domino database administration because I was a computer science major. And I was working for the Navy Sea Logistics Center, and it wasn't enjoyable. And I remember driving back to college because it was just my internship, my senior year, and I called my best friend and I said, I can't do this for the rest of my life. And he said, well, man, I've been trying to talk you into law school. I said, well, yeah, about that. What does it take to do? He said, well, you got to take the LSAT. So I literally decided to take the LSAT Halloween night in 2003, and the LSAT was on December 2nd of 2003. And so I had 1 month, and I didn't even know what the LSAT was. So to everyone out there, if there is a reason you have to do something and that reason is enough, it will be enough to carry you through. Okay? So, you know, everyone told me you can't take the LSAT and go to law school that quickly. You're going to have to wait a year. We didn't wait a year. I went to law school. I passed the bar exam. JB Birch was one of my lawyers. I now get a chance to talk to you at a table that it took me 200 to 300 hours to build for the purpose of hosting these sorts of conversations. And so this is also done in Holistic Law Studios, which is the foundation for healing of human beings. They're dealing with life crisis, people that are dealing with what does rock bottom look like. That's what this place is built for. We are now post-COVID. We're now into hybrid work environments. People don't want dedicated physical spaces. They don't want just dedicated virtual spaces. So we are attracting, in the Holistic Law Studios, we're doing almost like a communal professional environment here. We want people that want to be collaborative. We want people that want to be cutting edge, and we want people that want to be human problem-solving focused. That's what's here. We're bringing in the lawyers, the mental health providers, and the human service workers, people that do Reiki, sound therapy, Rolfing, acupuncture, those sorts of things. We want people to be able to find things that give them relief through the turmoils of what it's like to be life and human. And so I hope that you take this journey with us. I can't wait to see what happens. And I can't wait for you to meet a giant in the legal community of Richmond like Jack Burch. So with that, I wish you a good day and happy Halloween in 2024. And this is the launch of something new. I hope to see you again too.